Collagen is one of the most marketed, most argued about ingredients in the entire wellness industry. Half the internet tells you oral collagen is a waste of money because your stomach just digests it into amino acids. The other half sells you a $60 jar of cream claiming to rebuild your skin from the outside. Today, I am going through the actual research, what genuinely works, what's biologically impossible, and what's somewhere in between. No hype, just the data.
First, the basics. Collagen is the most abundant protein in your body. It's the structural scaffolding of your skin, tendons, cartilage, and bones. Starting around your mid-20s, collagen production declines by roughly 1% per year, accelerating further after menopause for women. This is the primary driver behind sagging skin, wrinkles, and joint stiffness as we age. So the question is not whether collagen matters. It clearly does. The question is whether anything you eat or apply can actually influence it. Here's the classic skeptical argument, and it sounds reasonable. Collagen is a protein. When you eat protein, your digestive system breaks it down into individual amino acids before absorption. So how could swallowing collagen powder possibly end up as collagen in your skin specifically, rather than just being used as generic protein anywhere in the body? For years, this was considered the strongest argument against oral collagen. But it turns out this isn't quite how digestion works for this specific protein.
Collagen has an unusual amino acid structure. It's rich in proline and hydroxyproline, which form unusually stable ring structures. Research has shown that specific collagen-derived peptides, particularly one called Pro-Hyp, resist being fully broken down by digestive enzymes. Instead of arriving as separate amino acids, they get absorbed intact as small di- and tripeptides through a specific intestinal transporter called Pep-T1. Studies have detected these intact peptides appearing in human blood within 30 to 60 minutes of ingestion. Once in the bloodstream, these intact peptides travel to the skin, where laboratory studies show they bind to receptors on fibroblasts, the cells responsible for producing new collagen. In cultured human skin cells, Pro-Hyp has been shown to increase fibroblast proliferation and significantly boost hyaluronic acid production by activating a specific enzyme involved in hydration. This isn't collagen being physically rebuilt brick by brick. It's more like collagen peptides acting as a signal that tells your skin cells to ramp up their own production.
So that's the mechanism. But does it actually show up in real humans, not just petri dishes? A 2023 systematic review and meta-analysis pooling 26 randomized controlled trials and over 1,700 participants found that oral hydrolyzed collagen significantly improved skin hydration and elasticity compared to placebo. A separate 2024 meta-analysis of 10 randomized trials reached the same conclusion. And a third independent review of 14 studies and nearly 1,000 participants found consistent improvements in skin moisture and elasticity after a 12-week regimen. 3 separate meta-analyses, the same direction of effect. Now, for honesty, these meta-analyses also flagged real limitations. Many individual trials were funded by collagen manufacturers. Sample sizes were often small, and study quality varied. The effect sizes, while statistically significant, are moderate, not dramatic. This is not going to erase deep wrinkles or replace a decade of sun damage. What the data supports is a real, measurable improvement in hydration and elasticity over 8 to 12 weeks of consistent use, not a miracle transformation.
If you want to try it, here's what the research actually used. Effective doses in the clinical trials ranged from 2.5 to 10 grams daily of hydrolyzed collagen peptides, taken consistently for at least 8 to 12 weeks before evaluating results. Look specifically for hydrolyzed collagen or collagen peptides on the label, ideally with verified Pro-Hyp or Pro-Hyp content. This is what separates a researched product from a generic one. Vitamin C is also worth taking alongside it, since it's a required cofactor for your body's own collagen synthesis enzymes. Now let's flip to the outside. Topical collagen creams are everywhere. But here's where the science gets genuinely more complicated, and where a lot of marketing crosses into misleading territory. Native collagen is a massive molecule, roughly 300,000 Daltons in molecular weight. For context, dermatologists generally agree that for any compound to passively penetrate intact skin, it needs to be under about 500 Daltons. Native collagen is hundreds of times too large. This means that in most standard collagen creams, the collagen molecule is not penetrating into the dermis, where your skin actually produces new collagen. It is, at best, sitting on the surface. So is it completely useless? Not entirely, just not what the marketing implies. Research confirms that on intact skin, native collagen functions primarily as a humectant. It sits on the surface, binds water, and improves moisture retention, similar to glycerin or hyaluronic acid. That is a real, legitimate hydration benefit. What it is not doing is rebuilding your dermal collagen structure from outside in.
Here's where it gets more interesting. Some newer formulations use hydrolyzed collagen, broken into much smaller peptide fragments in the 1 to 14 kilodalton range, still far above the ideal 500 Dalton threshold, but small enough that some studies show measurable penetration into upper skin layers using specialized delivery systems. A small clinical study using a topical collagen tripeptide showed measurable improvements in wrinkles, elasticity, and skin density after just 4 weeks, alongside reduced glycation damage markers. This is promising, but it comes from a single small pilot study of 22 participants, not the kind of robust evidence base that oral collagen now has. The honest verdict? Topical collagen in most standard formulations works as a good moisturizer, not a collagen rebuilder. Specialized hydrolyzed peptide formulations show early promising signals for actually influencing skin biology, but the evidence base is thin compared to oral collagen. If you love how a collagen cream makes your skin feel, keep using it for the hydration. Just don't expect it to do the heavy lifting that the actual collagen building process inside your body does.
So when you put oral and topical side by side, oral hydrolyzed collagen has the stronger, more consistent evidence base, with 3 separate independent meta-analyses showing real improvements in hydration and elasticity. Topical collagen offers genuine surface hydration, with newer hydrolyzed formulations showing early but unconfirmed promise for deeper effects. If you only have budget or attention for one, the data points toward investing in the oral form first. One more important point. The things that damage your existing collagen often matter more than any supplement. UV exposure activates enzymes called matrix metalloproteinases that actively break down collagen. This is why daily sunscreen is arguably the single most effective anti-aging product that exists. Excess sugar accelerates glycation, which we covered in the foods video, stiffening and damaging collagen directly. An adequate protein intake overall gives your body the raw materials it needs, regardless of whether that protein specifically comes from collagen. Let's recap. Oral collagen, backed by multiple independent meta-analyses, works through a real, specific biological mechanism. Effective doses around 2.5 to 10 grams daily for at least 8 to 12 weeks. Topical collagen, real surface hydration benefit, limited evidence for deeper dermal effects in most standard formulations. Hydrolyzed versions showing early promise. And regardless of either, sunscreen and limiting sugar protect the collagen you already have. If this helped you cut through the marketing noise, hit subscribe and the bell. If you've seen the rest of this series, anti-aging habits, supplements, foods to avoid, sauna, and zone 2 cardio, this fits right alongside it. Drop a comment. Do you already take collagen or apply it? What's your experience been? I read every single reply. Your future self is already thanking you. See you next week.